I for today's done some medical equipment, the Affinion AS100 Axis Shield Analyzer. So it is a blood analyzer, in fact, that can do several tests using specific cartridges. It was only €5 on eBay because it broke mechanically. Apparently just a few months ago. There is a broken part in the cartridge carriage and it will prevent it to load correctly the cartridge. So it is a quite simple device, user friendly. We have one touchscreen, two status LEDs, the door where you insert your cartridge, and it's all. So the previous device of this kind I made a teardown of. I was annoyed because I did not have the test cartridge to show you. But this time I was lucky. I found one inside the device. So there is no biological hazard here. It is unused. There is no blood in this section. I believe they did load the cartridge to test the device and see it was still not working, and actually it was they did discard the device with the cartridge still stuck inside. So it will allow us to see exactly what it looks like, but I will not be able to load it, I believe, in the device because really it is completely messed up. But we will power it on at least. So, front panel, on the side nothing, on the back two big heatsinks, a power switch, USB ports I believe for barcode reader, and a serial COM port, and there was actually able even to retrieve a log of a startup procedure, so I will show you screen captures of it just after. On the bottom, the manufacturer sticker made in Sweden, but the company is from Norway. Very interesting serial number of 700, and under this sticker here there is a license number for QNX software. So it is apparently the kind of Unix software loaded on the motherboard here. So now I will power it on and you will be able to see what it does. It will take a few minutes and do a bunch of weird noises. So while it is booting, how it works, I found some information in the user manual. Apparently it will process the cartridge completely. So when the doctor puts the blood sample in this device, I believe in this hole, the blood will go here. It will load the cartridge inside the machine. There is, I believe, here in the cartridge the reagent that will do the chemical magics to allow to read the to make results possible to read at least. So there is here a QR code kind of thing with, I believe, the cartridge serial number and maybe also some calibration data. So when you load the cartridge into the device, it will first read this number. It will test if the cartridge is valid. Then it will activate it, I believe, with poking a needle through this rubber part here. It will blow air in the cartridge. It will mix the sample of blood and the reagent, and somehow some of the reagent and blood mix will go in these three parts here, and a camera inside the device will read the results thanks to magical calibrated color light source also. And the camera at the same time is responsible to check if the cartridge is processing normally. it is the information I found in the user manual. So it is booting very slowly. All the motors are now initializing. I will try to do it another time with the cover open for you, then you will be able to see what happens inside. But for now we have to wait. Okay, it is ready. Nice. So before I mess it up with trying the cartridge inside, we will go in the menu, because I believe there is somewhere the log of the last use. Yes, it was used in October, and we have here the results of the last test that were performed. Interesting, quite a bunch of them actually. Okay, so the menus are really straightforward, there is not much to see. But here you have the button to activate the test process, and here you have one to activate the calibration process with a special cartridge. I believe with each box of these cartridges you are given a calibration cartridge or something like this. So if I press here, it will actually open the receptacle here to the cartridge. So I will try to load it and we will see what happens. Close lid. And now it is taking the cartridge and already an error. Okay. So either because, oops, it knows it is an expired cartridge, or because it knows there is something wrong inside. Okay, it was not too bad this time, I was able to extract it. So I will close this cover. You see, it says cartridge not removed, everything is broken in here. Okay, I will now open the cover. So removing the cover is very straightforward. This is just 4 Torx screws. Torx 10 I believe. And interestingly enough, they are not machine screws, they are self-threading screws, because the cover is plastic. So they did not use brass inserts into the cover. So I wonder why we have 2 big heat sinks. Okay, so there is one annoying thing. First, the cover is very hard to pop open when you undo the screws. Secondly, it is still attached with wires for the display and the electromagnet for the door actually. So here is the first look inside for you. Here we have the motherboard. No power supply because it is a power supply block. And here we have all the processing on mechanical side with a lot of magics happening. So first I will turn it sideways and I will do another boot sequence for you where you will see all the stuff moving in here. So what do we have? We have here obviously the cartridge loading system with this carrier piece that will go back and forth. We have here what seems to be an air pump. We have here the needle that will poke in the cartridge, and behind the shielding here and here at the back we have all the camera and sensing devices. I see in here a row of green LEDs apparently. So we have to wait, but it will start moving eventually. And I believe for some reason the self-test will not succeed when the cover is opened because of some light lead onto sensors, probably onto this one here. So I will put something over it, or maybe it will allow it to work correctly. We are waiting. So it is doing a whole boot sequence. After this part I will show you the screen captures of boot sequence before we go any further. It is actually super slow this time. Just 1/5 of the progress bar. Ah, here we are. You see green light. So it did move this carrier here. It is moving something else, but I do not see in fact what is moving right now. Or maybe we have a broken belt or something like this. Really weird. Ah, maybe it was inside of here. And now it is giving an error message, self-test error. Okay, it did not proceed until the end, but you get the ID. So I will now show you the screen captures of a boot sequence, and then we will try to take this thing apart. Okay, I like how science fictional it looks here, this part. So first I need to remove the power supply, maybe it is a good idea. Then disconnect here the top cover. It is probably a device I will keep in my collection actually, because it is quite nice with a round serial number and interesting. So we will start with the inside of this cover because it will be quite quick. We have the interface board to the LCD with a very noisy buzzer here made in Belgium by Sonitron. Regular flat flex, your screen connections for both the screen and the touch panel, and also backlight. I believe we have a free flat flex. We have here material information and theoretically here a grid with a manufacturing date, but it is totally impossible to read it. The on-off button here is pressing onto the internal switch with this metal piece. And here we have all the mechanism of the door that seem to be in die-cast metal, the door. We have a release electromagnet here, solenoid, with this spring-loaded part, and you can see apparently a precision adjustment because we have set screws. So this thing is a precision made, big spring to open it, some shock absorber here, and it is all for this cover. But now we are left with the main unit and a lot of things to look at. So first we will do an overview before I take it further apart. I believe I would love to extract everything in here and have a good look at the hidden parts. So we have the motherboard here on this side, not much to see for now. Just a flat flex going to it. This one must be for the camera. Big lithium battery here. Interesting, here a little fuse onto a holder. I believe it is the first time I see something like this. So about the heatsinks, obviously we need motor drivers. So I believe this one with this RF gasket is for the motor drivers. The other one, it seems to be connected with an horizontal piece all at the bottom here to the analysis unit. So I believe it must do some heat to the cartridge to process it. So probably we have a precise temperature regulation. It is why we have this quite thick heatsink actually. You can see here the base material is entirely made of die-cast aluminum. So about what we can see of the process area, we have here some kind of special sensor, it seems. I do not know if it will come off or not. We have here the needle injecting the air in the cartridge, with here apparently an air pump. Not sure how it works, but onto a previous startup I did see it go back and forth, and you will see some small air tubes with probably a pressure sensor here. So we will see how far we can take this apart. And here the cartridge carriage, but really it is not easy to see what is happening in here. So I will try to take apart some stuff. I will start with, I believe, the motherboard, and then we will see where we are going. Okay, motherboard is out. So in the startup log, maybe you did see there is a C drive. Obviously we have no hard drive in here, so it must be some flash memory somewhere here. The main processor here is a Xilinx Spartan XC2S150. We have, apart from this, is it even in focus? A bunch of electrolytic capacitors, so probably RAM, flash memory, and these are probably the stepper motor drivers because they are connected to this heatsink here with this thermal pad, and seems to be all in fact. So not much on this motherboard. little air pressure sensor here, big Sony backup memory here, backup memory battery, and 1/over fuse here into a fuse holder. Usually they are surface mount fuse, and they did include fuse holders, so it is quite nice. Okay, little metal bracket here. There is a connector that is covered here with a metal piece, so you are not supposed to use. Maybe it is for software upgrade or something like this. Okay, now as it is removed, we have an access, it seems, to the camera assembly with 4 screws, but first I will try to undo further this wall assembly here. I believe I can undo the heatsink here. So I will start with this. Maybe it will free up some space and allow to have a better view at everything and understand how to take this apart. Okay, very nice piece of aluminium here, by the way. Beautiful. We are left with, there is here this kind of plastic cover that apparently should come off quite easily, given it is made in Sweden. All the hardware is metric, which is nice. Very nice brass piece here, securing this cover. Not sure how it is supposed to come off. It is supposed to come off like this. Okay, just an insulation cover between the two, the electronics and the mechanical part. Not sure of the purpose. We have a better view here at the camera assembly that should come off quite easily with just 2 screws, if I have the correct screwdriver set size. So far everything is stock except the screw for the metal bracket here at the back that is slotted for some reason. So maybe it is not original, I am not sure. Okay, the camera comes off like this. Well, really, it seems to be a very regular camera module. I will undo the back cover, but not the back cover, excuse me, the glass piece, but I do not think it will be a special CCD, just something quite regular called camera PCB, quite obviously. Okay, is here our sensor, quite beautiful actually, with a lot of processing area on the side, it seems. So I might do a USB microscope photo of it for you, because it seems to be a special device. So I will include them in the video right now. We continue. Apparently, I am checking. It seems we have one top and one bottom assembly here that will come off separately. I am not totally sure, but it looks like it will be possible without too much hassle to do something. Yes, lot of wires, flat wires. Okay, maybe I will be lucky here actually. On the first screws here will allow to separate. Yes, okay, very nice. It will be much easier like this. We are left with the top on the bottom. What to do first? We will do the bottom if you want. So what do we have in here? We have obviously the main cartridge carriage and also a vertical thing. So do we have, yes, we have two motors. So there is one motor here that will move this part up and down with, even, it is nice, they did provide a screw slot here at the top to allow, you don't see, but to allow turning the thing like this completely manually and do whatever you want. And now I can move this carriage like this. So regular stepper motor here with a bit of thermal bridge to the heatsink at the back. Interesting. And we have here the other assembly. Apparently solid aluminium part here going to the heatsink at the back. And what seems to be heating devices here. I see flat flex circuit board with tracks, so probably I guess they are resistive tracks, and the cartridge, where is it, will come like this somehow, probably like, yes, here at least like this, and it will hit the liquids in here to activate the process. I do not know what the other one here is for, because obviously you cannot, the cartridge will not be moved around, so it can only go in this direction, and here it does not fit. But here it does fit, so it will probably hit this part of the cartridge before it is checked by the camera. We have here some actuator of some kind, and I believe it is all for this assembly. There is a little piece of PCB here with yes, end of travel sensor for the motor, connected with a flat flex, another motor here all at the bottom for the vertical movement, and here the cartridge loading mechanism that yes, it will grab the cartridge like this apparently, and I guess I should be able to manually move the cartridge in the position where it will be. It will be inserted into this slot here to hit the contents. A little bit further like this, yes. It should do something quite weird. But you get the idea, but maybe, yes, there is something else here that is stuck or something like this, but it is the general idea of this thing. Okay, so not much to see here remaining, at least. We are left with, where is it? The top part. So here is the cartridge receptacle. We have apparently one infrared sensor in here, nothing particular. We have here all the processing mechanism. So about the broken part that is preventing it to work, can you see it? We have here the grabber for the cartridge, apparently. It will come like grab the cartridge somewhere here, and it is activated by this stepper motor. And look, it is quite sad. And I actually have the missing part, but the metal post is broken. Here we are missing this part that works with this axis here to activate the grabber of the cartridge. It is pre-loaded, this thing, and as it is broken here, the right side will never move and it will not grab correctly the cartridge, I believe. Okay, so about the processing devices in here, we have here a row of LEDs. You did see 1 second lighting up in a green. So just clip-on board actually LEDs with also one infrared LED here at the bottom to check the cartridge. And it is all. Everything goes here on the other side in this contraption. So we have several things. Seems we have an optical block here. So I need to take this apart, obviously. We will start with this one. So here it is doing all the magical light readout to figure out the results of the cartridge, it seems, because we have apparently analog front end here, and I will deflect it. Behind this cover, it seems some special sensor, yes, with golden legs, no number written whatsoever on the top. IR9902. Okay, some special infrared sensor, obviously, or light sensor. So these things are just made of magic with shining light through blood samples. They can measure components and molecules. It is just insane level of science. Okay, so we have the other device here. I do not know, maybe it is just the barcode reader for the cartridge, or maybe it is something different. What is going on here? If I undo this, apparently this whole thing cannot move because they did bend over metal tabs here. So I will try to unbend them, and we will, I believe I will be able to extract this part. And here at the bottom you can see the needle that will poke in the cartridge, and actually the yes, it will go like this. So I will zoom on here for you. You have a centering pin, you have a needle, and you have the air blower. So it will go like this when it is free to move. and it will do the processing of the cartridge. So there is a rubber seal here around this part, and the little syringe needle. But first, about this, yes, now it is coming off. We have, I see. It is just actually more surface mount LEDs on this PCB. So a bunch of surface mount LEDs that will be diffused in some way here by this plastic sheet, but I do not know then what is the purpose of the upper part here. There is nothing in particular at this level. So a really strange setup, you can see. And now it will not go back in place. Here maybe. Okay, but you get the idea. Now we will have a look at the top system. So actually I do not know how far I will be able to take this apart. We have here first the broken piece you did see previously, then the important thing, the syringe needle. I will show you without poking myself with it. I will try at least. Should be a good idea. It is under this part here, and here it is. Just a regular needle they did adapt to this part with this little tube. So apparently it is to blow air in the cartridge, and it is connected here to this unit. But first I would like to have a look at this one. It seems it will be complicated to undo. First I will reinstall it before anything bad happens, because when it is inserted it is in a safe position. I cannot hurt myself with it. So I believe it is a good idea. Okay. Then I would love to undo this unit here, but it is not apparently super easy and or obvious. Some kind of a pump. Oh, it is coming here, and it looks like there is a screw at least. So I will try to undo the screw and we will see what happens. So I like taking apart this kind of equipment because really it is always interesting stuff and surprising stuff. Even can I need to undo this actually, and it will come right off. Now just to investigate a little bit further this thing, because you can see there is not much actually. All the magics happen in the light on the camera, and everything else is just auxiliary stuff. Okay, we have another spring here that is keeping it in place, and we are good. Just 2 wires to undo. Here we are for this assembly called the S pump, and so we have this thing that is moving back and forth. It is here the part going in this area of the cartridge like this, the test cartridge. So it looks like it is just some kind of an air pump really. So we should have 2 air pumps, it means, in this thing. Or maybe this one is for pussy, yes, I believe. Ah, yes, it will blow in this part, and here you have the blood sample. So it will drive out the blood sample in the analysis chambers here. And the other one will push the reagent through a layer of material here. And then do the mix of the 2 things, yes. Not much to see, just a linear pump with... it is glass, this thing, it seems, yes. So very precise. And there is no seal actually, it is here apparently a ceramic cylinder that will slide into this glass cylinder, but with very little clearance. It is just, you cannot feel the feeling, it is very precise, quite amazing. So obviously a super expensive part here. And I do not even remember in which direction this was put together. Like this, obviously. Okay. So, one interesting kind of pump. And the other one, I believe, it might be more or less the same thing. Let me just put this back together before I get parts everywhere. Oh. Loose part actually. I have no idea where it comes from. Not here, not here. Maybe I will figure it out. Okay, the other one. This one. Well, it looks it will be very similar setup. 2 screws here securing this assembly, and 2 screws here for the handpiece. So this thing is obviously mass produced. So quite simple to simply made to put together. All the price is located in some particular parts. These precision pumps, the special camera, the software probably, and everything else is peripheral really. Okay, same thing. I do not know if I will be able to pull it or not. Yes. Exactly the same thing. Cylinder of glass with a ceramic piston inside here. And this is some kind of a linear stepper motor, it seems. That will pump a very precise amount of air. So it looks impressive, but there are just pumps in here at the top. And we have seen everything, I believe. Not much else to see. Because here we have some auxiliary PCBs with just resistors, sensors, things like this. And the power switch activated through the top cover is here actually. And it is all... Oh, I hate these cable retainers with double-sided tape. They never keep in place. Okay, and here the whole expanse of a broken piece that should be possible to replace. In fact, this whole assembly here should need to be replaced, or probably the device should be working if you do this. So quite a waste of equipment here. Maybe they are obsolete because I did see on eBay there is no newer model of them. Probably the same process. And I will try to get one of the newer model, maybe, to see any difference and similarities in construction. Okay, so I will try to put everything back together now. Yes, already we did see everything of interest. Countersunk torque screws here for some reason. Interesting. Little solenoid here. Probably there is a valve here actuated by this solenoid. And very nice aluminium parts all over the place. So, thanks for watching. Bye bye.